Ladies and gentlemen, hello, episode 5. Drawbacks, Geely Oldham. I've owned the car for 2 months and have driven 2,000 kilometers. And of course, there are drawbacks. When the car is sitting in the showroom, that's one thing, but when you use it in real life, it's a whole different story. So, at this point, I have identified 10 significant drawbacks, in my opinion. Watch and let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. And at the end, I'd like to show you the Italian Riviera. So watch the video until the end. I think it'll be interesting. So we have a mini tour of the Geely's drawbacks. After 2 months and 2,000 kilometers, I managed to find 10 drawbacks. Let's take a look at them together. So the first and not so obvious one is the voice assistant. No, it's implemented very well. The car hears you just fine, but if you stray even a little from the set functions or commands, it no longer understands you.
Switch to the speed camera.
Let me show you now. For example, hi Geely.
Hello.
Close the shade.
I am very sorry, but this specific request is actually beyond my current capabilities.
See, it doesn't understand you. But if you say it exactly, hi Geely.
Here.
Close the sunroof shade.
Okay.
See, it worked. So you have to know the exact command. If you use a different word, it won't understand you anymore, which is a drawback of the voice assistant. Although it's cool and it's there if you need it, if you know the commands well, it's very convenient to use.
I'm really sorry I couldn't help you this time, but be sure to call me again next time.
Now the second drawback. As a longtime iPhone owner, I use Apple CarPlay in my vehicle every single day, which is a drawback. I like to use Google Maps. I've been using it since way back and I have my own places marked there. Basically, I'm just used to Google Maps. If I use Google Maps, it doesn't show up on the head-up display, on the projection display, on the windshield. Apple Maps does show up, as does the built-in map from Geely that comes with the apps. It also appears on the head-up display, but Google Maps doesn't show up. Maybe for those who have Android phones and connect via Android Auto, or whatever it's properly called, maybe Google Maps will show up. In my particular case, since I have...
There's a red light camera ahead.
Thank you very much. If you're traveling around Italy, be very careful because there are cameras everywhere. So it doesn't show up on the projection display, on the head-up display. In my opinion, a major drawback of Google Maps. Now, the third drawback, what is it about? The app, so-called My Geely. You can control the car remotely, it's implemented well, and there are no complaints about it. When I mentioned this in the 4th episode, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. When I talked about it in the 4th episode, the app itself is great, it's implemented perfectly, it's super, and the response time is good. It is incredibly intuitive and easy to use. But the main issue is that my wife and I both share this car, and she has the mobile app installed on her own phone as well. The problem is that if I am actively using the app at any given moment, it automatically logs her out of the account on her device. Consequently, if she suddenly needs to use the car, she is forced to go through the process of confirming her access all over again via her email. Log into the app. We can't both use it at the same time. There's no multifunctionality. We can't both use the app at the same time. So, when they made the car, they understood what was needed. 2 keys for 2 owners, one black, one white. But for some reason, they didn't realize that the app should be multifunctional. That's the third major drawback. It's that there's no multifunctionality in the My Geely app. Geely app. Now I want to tell you about the 4th point, and it's absolutely not obvious. I didn't see this at the dealership. So, what is the 4th point? It's about the air conditioner. Climate control. This means that when we go into the climate control, we see a scale on the left and a scale on the left. On the right, For example, temperature regulation. This means dual zone climate control. One for the passenger and another for the driver, respectively. But no, it's always mono mode here. If I change the air conditioner, the temperature changes for the passenger automatically as well. So the passenger can't set, say, 20 degrees for themselves while I want 15. There's no dual zone climate control. Is that a drawback? It is a drawback. I didn't notice this at the dealership. The fifth one is also not obvious. Personally, I'm a calm driver. I don't like to drive recklessly. But there are people who like to weave through traffic, so to speak, and drive fast. This car is a bit wobbly. Since it's tall, it's an SUV. When you start weaving through traffic, you will notice it leans over quite a lot, causing the entire car to tilt rather heavily. Well, it kind of feels like you're losing control. Personally, for me, it is not so much a significant drawback, as it is just a very minor flaw. I'll say it again, I'm a calm driver. I don't like fast driving. For me, it's comfortable, calm, careful, and the car provides that. When you're driving straight, the car is just excellent. I really like it. The sixth point.
There are speed and red light cameras ahead.
When I got the car from the dealership, I thought this feature came by default. But no, not with Geely. It's not implemented, and that's what I want to talk about. On the big, beautiful central screen, you can't watch videos. Not on YouTube, not through a third-party browser, not even from a flash drive or a hard disk. You can't play videos on this screen. A huge downside, okay? I understand. It's done for safety reasons. You can't watch YouTube while driving. You get distracted from the road.
Ahead, speed camera.
I think this is the right approach, but if we're all about safety, they could at least make this feature available. When parking, that is, when the car is in park mode, in P. Please, allow access to video. Why hasn't this been done?
Speed camera ahead.
Thank you. Why this hasn't been done is a big mystery. Well, about YouTube, I wanted to tell you something regarding Europe and the official firmware from Geely. I know there are third-party developers who install both YouTube and a browser, but I don't want to lose my warranty since my car is still under warranty. It's 6 years for the car and 8 for the battery, so I don't want to install any third-party systems because of that. That's what I wanted to say about YouTube. Let's smoothly move on to point 7 because it follows from point 6. If the iPhone has its App Store and Android has the Google Play Store or the old Android market, then right here on this device there is its very own dedicated App Store. However, it's an incredibly limited and underwhelming App Store, featuring a meager selection of exactly 45 different applications, such as Amazon Music and basic maps. There is absolutely no support for radio stations or podcasts or anything of that nature. Furthermore, you cannot install any games at all, as I have already mentioned, and it lacks both YouTube and any kind of third-party web browser. Why? It's unclear. We'll write to Geely about it. The seventh major drawback is that the car has a small, limited app store. They could have made it bigger. The eighth point, which I mentioned in the 4th episode, the front...
Speed control camera.
Thank you. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out. Rest mode. It's a wonderful, awesome feature. I try to use it whenever possible because the music and relaxation are fantastic. But what's the downside of this mode? It won't work if the battery is down to 20% or 30%. So if the main battery is low, you won't be able to turn on the rest mode feature. I consider this a drawback. They could have fixed this somehow, I don't know. It could have started from the engine, or simply not been tied to the battery at all, but no, it's linked to the main battery, and as a result, the mode gets blocked. It's a minor thing, but it's there. So, about the trunk light, here's how it's set up. If your trunk is loaded or there's a large bag, it's placed on the left side. There's only one light source on the left side. So, when you block it with a big bag, you can't see anything in the trunk at night. Why couldn't they add another light on the right, or maybe put it on top somehow? Let's put it this way. It's not a major flaw, more of a minor oversight, but it's there. I wanted to mention it, so let me tell you about this plastic here. It's not just that it is inexpensive, it is also highly prone to even the most minor surface scratches. Even the gentlest brush of a finger or the tiniest bit of mechanical impact will leave a visible mark right away, making the material feel very delicate. I was transporting my travel bag and I have a stabilizer for my camera. It's made of metal. Unfortunately, it was lying with its right side against the plastic cover and it left quite a noticeable scratch. The stabilizer was fine, but the plastic got scratched. Let me show you what it looks like. I found out myself and now I'm telling you. I hope this was useful and interesting. Like, comment and subscribe. And as I promised, Riviera awaits you. See you in the next videos.